The wise words of the ancient one would say that change is the only constant in life. Now, before the P-squares of this world, the flavors, and every love crooner, there was a man who sang songs that every party had on their playlist. The program is Music Makers, where Nigerian artists come and share their life stories and creative works with us. It's coming to you from Voice of Nigeria. In a moment, you'll get to know who this icon is. My name is Glory OHAGWU. Stay tuned. Growing up as a child in the 80s, there's no party that did not have this song on the playlist. From the north to the south, east and west, it was the rave song. And it's an evergreen titled Ifeoma. Enjoy it. Ifeoma, I want to marry you. The question in everybody's mind was, who was this Ifeoma?
Well, I will say that the song is just the way I feel about the commercial value, how to get the Igbos. The Igbos, I have them so much in my heart anytime I'm doing any recording. So I want to please them, because from there we make a whole lot of sales. The Ifeoma song came as a commercial way of being able to get in the people. There was nobody, particularly. The thing is, I had this childhood girlfriend. I loved her so much. So as I was thinking about how to get the Igbos, then I used her name.
Well, you didn't just get the Igbos. It was a uniting song. And then that was commercial value at that point in time.
Right.
Well, so much for taking off on this footing, but it's time to get to know who you are.
Well, my name is Felix Lebarty. I am from Edo State. I schooled in Lagos. I started playing music when I was very young with my eldest brother, Ifeoma Lebarty. I've been playing for quite a while now.
You're from Edo State?
Yep.
You were born in Edo State?
I was born in Benin City, Edo State, yeah.
And you grew up in Edo State?
Yeah, part of my youth age, Edo State, then Lagos.
Then Lagos.
Yeah, then Enugu, Onitsha, and Aba. Those were the places I grew up, playing music and all that. So I got influenced with the Igbo way of life. And
high life and all that.
Yeah.
Was your family like the Von Trapp family in Sound of Music?
Yeah, my mother started it all. And my eldest brother, Ifeoma Lebarty, but he's late now. He had a band as at that time. And for you to be able to earn a living with him, you have to be able to be a part of his band. So from packing instrument to learning how to play the clips, then from clips to the congas, from congas to drums, from drums to bass, then from bass to guitar.
Oh.
Yeah, but now I vamp on keyboard a little bit.
Okay.
The Ifeoma you heard, I did some of the keyboard. In fact, in that album, it was like I did it alone in the studio.
Oh.
The only part one Trinidadian played was the solo keyboard. So it was just me.
How did music start for you?
Like I said, my eldest brother, he had a band. And this band was the only way we can earn livelihood. And from there, you have to be able to help him in every way. So wherever there's no instrumentalist, you must be able to key in. So we're learning by force. So that was how the whole thing started.
When did it start?
Quite a long time.
When you say quite a long time, would it be the 70s, the 60s?
Yeah, I will say the 70s.
The 70s?
Yes.
And then you had to grow and build on that?
Yes.
Let's go back to Benin City. A lot has changed in Benin City now. It was Bendel then.
That's true.
So take us to Benin City through your mind's eye, growing up in Benin City as a child.
Well, Benin was a place where the show business, everything was really happening. You could just come from Lagos, come from every other place, and come to Benin. And people love things of art so much. The then NTA really encouraged all the young artists, and that's where me, Chris Okoti, and some other people met. We're still in school and all that stuff, so everybody would come from school and begin to do this program they call Panorama.
Okay.
You know, that was how the whole thing went on. Then you could go everywhere easily. And then we're playing music for the love of it, not for what you're going to get out of it. And we had people that were really listening, and you need to be good to be listened to. A lot of people were trying to make sure if you have to play this music, you have to learn how to play this instrument. And if you are not good at it, nobody's going to listen to you. So it was a place where whatever that you are doing, you have to be good at it. So Benin is a place where you have to be original.
How did you end up with your brother? What happened to your parents? I mean, at that time, you should have been with your parents.
My father died quite early, and I didn't even get to know him. So my mother was a single mother, but my eldest brother grew up and took the whole responsibility. So his band was like a place where you have to be with him, or else you won't eat. So that was how we grew up with him, doing the real music, making sure that you understand what music is all about.
How many
Well, I have
albums
to
did you
count
birth?
it. I did Loverboy 82, where you have Ngozi, and you have I'm Your Lover Boy, I'm Your Boyfriend. Then the second album, I did Chi Chi Oh Chi Chi. You know, people were so crazy about it. Everywhere I went that time, it was like, hey, this was the Michael Jackson of Nigeria.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
yes.
That was Loverboy 83. The first one was done in England. The second one was done in Onitsha. Then we finished it in England. The third one, Bobo, was done in Onitsha and finished in England too. The fourth album was One Life to Live, I titled it, because that time I already started traveling abroad to America and all that stuff. So I was more American that time I did the Ifeoma stuff. I started having this punk kind of hair with gold teeth and all that stuff, with all the gold around me. 1986, if you see me coming out, you think I am one of these drug dealers in the U.S. Because I love them. I love the rappers. I love the Americans when they wear all the bling bling and all that stuff, you know. So when you see me, it's, no, this guy. So a lot of people were calling me a lot of names. Some people would call me drug dealer. Some people would call me 419 and all that stuff. Because for me, I don't like to stay down, especially my image. I like you to see me well. So even if I'm not making money, I have to, you know. So that's how we got by and all that stuff. So
Were you signed to any label at that point in time?
Tabansi Records. It was like a father to me. 1981, after Chris Okoti's success, because I took part in that his first album. So after his success, I said, no, I have to do my own album. Chris said, okay, I'm going to sign you on. But because we were kids, he spent a lot of money. That time he spent almost about 6,000 naira. With 6,000 naira, you can buy a whole house.
At that time?
Yes. So he spent 6,000 naira and he didn't even care about it. But we didn't have that idea of how to commercialize
the experience.
it. Exactly. So that thing stayed for almost about a year. So we had to look for Tabansi. So when I got Tabansi now took it up because he was a professional. He knew what the whole industry was all about. So he took me up and he took me to England, and that was how the big break came in 1982.
Let's go back to Felix and education. Let's know the schools you attended and what you got from these schools. Starting from the very basic.
Well, in Benin, I went to UNA Primary School. I got my primary school education. Then in Lagos, Ikosi High School, Lagos. After Ikosi High School, I just stopped because I was in Form 4 when my big break came in. I got so swollen-headed. Everywhere I turned on, I said, no, what do I need education for and all that stuff? So that was how I stayed until I found Christ. And I needed to go to the Bible school. So I went to All Nations for Christ for my Bible school. So I got a diploma.
In theology?
Yeah.
The story is building,
Right.
and we will get to that part. Now tell us about the song Loverboy.
Yeah, Loverboy, you remember there's this guy, The Equals, Eddie Grant.
Okay.
I love his music, and Eddie Grant came into Nigeria, And he was trying to fuse Trinidadian kind of calypso with high life. And it was working for him like hell. So I listened to most of his songs and I loved it. I loved the rhythm. I was looking for the commercial value. How can I get these young people? And I know we talk about boyfriend. I know we talk about girlfriend. So that was how the Lover Boy came.
So
that's the song you hear.
Yeah, and young Nigerians who are doing music now, you've not heard anything. This was the original Lover Boy before all the other Lover Boys did take over. So here is Felix Lebarty with Lover Boy. Enjoy it. I'm your boyfriend. So you had all that fame at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
How did you stay clean?
Well, it depends on the kind of people that you're hanging out with. What saved me? Our Lord. I didn't know then. He used Chris Okoche's success to teleguide me. When you have some people around you that you look up to and you see them as success, you don't want to go lower than them. Chris Okoche was not into drugs. So I kind of followed. With all the money and all that stuff, though we did some very negative things, especially with women and all that stuff, but for drugs,
you never got to do drugs.
You can never. If you do that, nobody's going to take you seriously. You can't even try it.
Who were your musical mentors at that time? Because as Maya Angelou would say, if I stand strong, it's because I stand on the shoulders of those who went before me.
There were so many of them. Look at Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Everything about him, from beginning to the end, the rhythm, everything is all about perfection. You need to be that kind of a person to say you are a star. Sonny Okosun was there. Everything about him that time was commercial music. He would take his band from one place to the other, all over the world. Look at Sonny Ade. Then somebody like Bongo Sikwe. These were people, and they were playing it like those professionals that you can find anywhere in the world. And they can really bring their band out and sound. And you hear the distinction. It's not like what we are seeing now. So we had to go through all that to grow up. So when you come out to say you are singing, you are not only singing because you want to sing, you are singing because you can play an instrument and sing with it. And when people listen to you, they know that you're not singing flat, you're not singing off key. You need to be good professionally. All that we're not seeing now. So those were the kind of people that I grew up with. Because for you to say you are a star, they will ask you how many bands have you played. Oh, yeah. Where had he played before? Has he played with Fela? Has he played with this? Has he played with that? But these days what we'll say is that you see a solo artist, he has a song, and somebody from nowhere will put computer together and begin to do it. I'm not saying they are not good. But the point is that the main thing is playing in front of an audience. You will make mistake. You will make sure that you are strong in the instrument you're playing, because it has to do with spiritual nature. Spiritual thing doesn't just start, boom. It has to start from somewhere. It has to start from A. It's not something that you just build from top. So you have to learn how to play it gradually, and you start growing. So that was how we started.
That's how you started, and that's how you grew.
Mm-hmm.
Were you writing all your songs at that point in time, or did you have songwriters writing for you?
Those days, you must have an idea about all these things. Those days, it was not that popular at that time that you have to have songwriters, you have to have somebody that will perform it and all that stuff. For you to say you are a star, you have to be able to put a song together, arrange it, and make sure you render it well, or else it won't work. Nobody's going to respect you. I remember those days, Ngozi did this song, I Need Your Help, Oh Help, and the record sold. But Odioni did not allow him to sing it. He said because it was sounding like somebody singing a native song. So there was this pianist, and he was singing it better than him. So they allowed pianist to sing it. And at the end of the day, when the song made a hit,
the credit went to pianist, not Sonny Okosun.
They said no, Sonny Okosun cannot sing. It took him a whole lot to be able to bring himself to be noticed.
Looking at your life now, how long would you say you've been doing music for now? Let's tabulate it. Let's get the facts together.
I would say almost the whole of my life. Professionally, I would say since 1978.
Whoa.
78, because that was when I was allowed to really go on my own, to go and play with band and all that, travel on my own without my eldest brother and all that stuff. That was where I saw Odioni Roger. He was trying to go and record Chris Okotie. Then 79, we recorded at his album, I Need Someone.
Need somebody.
And the thing sold all over the place with Blow and all that stuff. So that was it.
Wow. It's almost getting to 4 decades of music with you, Felix Lebarty. What are the core lessons you have learned in the course of doing this music business?
I will tell you, it is good to be professional. That's one. Whatever you are doing, make research on it and make sure that you perfect your act. And it is good to always aspire to be able to make it monetarily. But somewhere along the line, I made some money that was bigger than my age. All the women were all there.
The Ifeomas, the Ngozis, and all.
I could travel anywhere. I know my sisters, the sisters we have, they would not want to go for anything less, and I got carried away. Even with all the lessons that God used people to pin me down, I got carried away. I was traveling anyhow. My life was not planned. All I want to look glamorous. I want to be able to live a life of a lie. You look at me and say, oh no, this guy is a millionaire. And I don't have that kind of million, but I'm just surviving, So I got carried away with so many women. Ngozi want to, be with you. Ifeoma want to be with you. Nkechi want to be with you. Lola want to be with you. Adesua want to be with you and all that stuff.
And there you were, just a young man.
So that was where, along the line, we slipped. But it was God that really brought me out of that negativity. And I thank God for it today.
Wow. That story has loads of story inside of that story.
Yeah.
From 78, professionally, till date, you've watched music evolve in Nigeria, the industry and all. What was the positive and the negative comparing then and now?
Wow. Then it was a serious business. Then people took musicians seriously. But now, what people are just doing is looking for fame. And once they get fame, that's all it is for them. Music is not just about fame. Music is you, and you have to be music. Everything about you has to be married to it. And you don't do music because you want to have fame. You do music because you love it. Music is a natural thing. It's life. But what we are saying now is fame everybody's looking for. Like I saw about 2-3 years ago, some of my children, they said they want to do an album. So you guys don't even know how to play any instrument. Why do you want to do an album? Say, Daddy, that's your own time. We can just get a producer and they will do everything. And that's it. I say, at the end of the day, you're going to regret it. They said, no, Daddy, you are being negative about this thing. We are not going to listen to you.
And they brought spirituality to bear.
So, and they did some recordings and it didn't work. Now they are starting to learn instruments. I will tell you, all these ones that are working now, making waves now here and there, what they are doing this thing for endorsements. Your life cannot be for endorsements. Your music as it is, if you are an artist who is a really born artist, a musician, extras from you is what is commercial about you. You cannot be a product of a commercial value. So, okay, P-Square, his record is selling now. Let us just use him. They cannot get the end of you if you are... Look at Fela from selling his T-shirts. You go from that place. Now, people are scoring his music. It's eternal. It's because he learned it and he knew it and he lived the life and music has been in him. The music that he did can never fade away. Why? Because he is a professional. It's just like now, if I want to make a hit, what I need to do is to concentrate. Listen to all the things that are going on now. Like you asked me, where have you been? I don't need to make no noise because I don't have anything to sell yet. Unless you have something to sell, then you sit down and put it together. Then they will begin to listen to you. If it's not because you wanted me to come to this your show, and I respect you so much because your program is one of the best, I don't have anything to sell yet. All I'm selling now is
you're selling experience.
Hallelujah.
No, you're selling experience.
That is.
It didn't come easy.
That's the truth.
We're going to get to the evangelistic part of you. Right. It's a journey on course. Right. We're going to get there. Now, there's been a nosedive. There are major concerns that though they would say the music industry in Nigeria is one of the best in Africa and it's the most evolving in the world right now, content has been mortgaged for rhythm. What's your view? That's
the truth. Content has been mortgaged for rhythm. Because what we are hearing now is just the rhythm is so beautiful. But there is nothing in there. You understand what I'm saying? You know, those days, you can sit down and listen to what the guitar man is playing. And it will make meaning. You can only just dance to that and the drums. But now, you don't have all that anymore. All you have, boom, 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 provided you can, from beginning to the end. But the only thing I like them about is that they know how to carry themselves.
How do we cause a Catholic marriage, so to say, where content and rhythm meets? For the future of music in Nigeria.
What they need to do is, those who want to be a recording artist, you have to be able to learn how to play one of the instruments. If you don't learn it, you are going to be sounding the same. I remember I was telling some people in Benin, very good singer, but everything he's doing it on the same key because he doesn't know how to modulate. He doesn't have an idea about what to do about chords. He will continue to repeat the same song but with different lines.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? But if you know, it's just like when you say, okay, I want to do something like high life. Then you strike high life, you know what to do. Okay, I want to do reggae. You hold your instrument and take the root from reggae and understand what reggae should be. So it's a professional thing. It's not something that you just come, program, and you begin to do. It has to come from you.
It has to come. I know high life was the king of music at that point in time. But what was your own music called? Was it disco, pop?
Well, we were playing high life, but with modification. Because we had the fuse of calypso, pop, reggae, the fuse of everything. So what will you call it? Those days, some people called my music disco lipso.
Disco lips.
That's what they were calling it at a point. For me, I knew I was actually playing high life music.
So it was just a fusion of high life music.
Exactly.
Well, when I set out to gather the Felix Lebarty story, I didn't think I'd have to tell 40 years in 25 minutes. This is just the first installment of Music Makers starring Felix Lebarty. So until same time next week when we bring you another edition, my name is Glory OHAGWU signing off on behalf of everyone that worked with me on this production. Let's meet on Twitter to keep the conversation alive. The handle is @Voice of Nigeria. Do have a nice day. Bye-bye.